Good morning, everybody. I'm Romy, for those of you that don't know who I am. I actually have a PowerPoint this morning, but I wanted to share just a couple of things before we start the PowerPoint. And that is, so in preparation for this topic this morning, and for a lot of the other stuff that I've been doing, I started doing mind mapping. Hi, Jessica. Does anybody have you ever done mind mapping before? So I'm going to see if I can show you. Can you guys see what this looks like? So with mind mapping, when I go through and, when we start to make lists in preparation and, for the different things that we want to do, in the past, I've just started writing, and then you all of a sudden have this long list and the ideas come through, and all of a sudden your ideas are all jumbled together, and it's kind of hard to tell which goes where. And so I started mind mapping, and what I do is I just have like a little artist book. I actually bought one of these for my granddaughter for Christmas last year, and it just gave me the idea to start and see if this would work. So I just put my topic in the middle, or wherever you want to do it, and then you just start jotting down. It's kind of like creating an agenda in only in artistic form, so to speak. So you're just writing your ideas down and then just kind of jutting them out and then going deeper into each one. So for an example, so in the middle, that's my topic, and then I went through and created some specific talking points, and then went down deeper into more of what I want those talking points to be. So that's that. The other thing, a little bit ago, one of the tools that I use for getting things together, getting my head in the right place, just really being able to focus, is music. And so I have two artists, depending on if I need to have that, that confidence and that fighting spirit and all of that, I listen to Jake Hamilton. He has, and it's praise and worship, just so you know, it's Christian music. So it's something that really gives me that boost and just that confidence. The other one, if I want to just kind of soak and listen and just kind of contemplate, and that is Kim Walker Smith. And she does a lot of stuff with Jesus culture, but she has some amazing stuff. So those are a couple of my tips for preparation. And I just want you to know, I have prepared for this presentation probably about as much as I did for my convention presentation. I feel pretty strong about this message, and so I've just been praying and just really wanting to be able to give you guys from my heart, and I'm just really praying that what comes out of my mouth is going to be what you need. I can prepare, and all of a sudden when I'm done, I'm like, well, that was not what I prepared for, but I hope somebody got use for it. The other one I was going to do really quick is that Amber talked about it before, is that Amber and Stephanie and Joe and Ashley and I are we're reading a book together. And this is not a requirement for you guys. We just wanted to let you know what we're doing and invite you to do it with us if you want. And the name of the book is You Were Born Rich, and it's by Bob Proctor. And we're actually going to be like officially reading it, together starting February 1st. So if you want to join in on that with us, we'd love to have you. You can share what you're getting out of it. We'll share what we're getting out of it. And so that's that. So, okay, Kenzie, I don't see you, so I'm ready for the PowerPoint.
Baby, you ready for the PowerPoint?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
if you're joining late, just so you know, I am believing for really good internet today, but just in case I don't have good internet, Kenzie is going to run my PowerPoint just in case I pop off. So if I pop off, you guys, it's free reign till I get back. So, all right. So the title of my little talk this week is Get Your Shiz Together. So next. So I want to start with a little bit of the recap for the month. So we started with Gina, and we as leaders wanted to, when we met, we wanted to come up with something that was going to start all of us off really good with the new year. And Gina Truman is probably one of the best presenters that we could have gotten when it comes to starting the year off. I have to move my thing. Hold on just a minute, because I can't see. Okay, sorry. So one of the big things that resonated with me with Gina's talk is the no excuses. And I think that's because excuses are something it's a big thing, and it's easy for all of us to do. It's easy for us to let life get in the way and just kind of get in the way of our dreams. So for this, it says, how often do we let life get in the way? And soon the little excuses become big roadblocks to our dreams and visions. And I really believe that is true. It can be big excuses, and it can be very, very little excuses. And what I have found is that a little excuse can be a toehold, like it just kind of gets your toe in the door, and then pretty soon it's a foothold and becomes a stronghold. And that is detrimental to us in our lives personally, and it's detrimental to us in our lives business-wise. So next. The next one we had was Joe and Ashley Bell. And so they talked about the success schedule. It was really powerful. And so I just want to say this before I get going in case I forget. The presentations that Amber and Stephanie and Ashley and Joe did this month were like my favorite presentations that we've had since we started Leader Circle. I think it was really good. It's just really good tips that we need for the logistics of building our business. And I found great value in them. And so, I hope you guys did as well. So with the success schedule, it was that the 1-step, 2-step, that's really what helped me in their presentation. It was just being able to have that visual and kind of see. And with Stephanie, she talked about her enrollment tips, and it was also that the having it being driven home that this is our business. And we sell essential oils. That is our business. But it is, I had this written down, let me see here. Totally, it's so simple that that I forgot. So we sell essential oils that educate people on how to use them. So that was good. It's very, very simple, but it's something I think that we don't think about because we tend to want to make it not so simple. And so we get hung up on the sales aspect of doing this business, and really we just need to get over it. Because we do sell essential oils. That is just the first step in that, though. We sell essential oils, and then all the goodness comes after that. After the sale, then we get to do all the fun stuff, all the helping them and loving on them and the follow up and all of that. And so then we had Amber talking about the class toolbox, which was awesome. Every time I listen to Amber talk about teaching a class, it kind of makes me want to do a class, kind of. For those of you that don't know me, you know I didn't do classes. I love one-on-one. So just so you know, when we talk about events are not specific for this big room and lots of people and big classes and stuff like that. Events really can be one-on-ones. So I love the one-on-one aspect of it. I just never did the classes, but the way that Amber explains how she does classes I don't know, it's good. So what I wanted to just say quickly about this is that these 3 videos that these 3 Zooms and presentations that we had this month, those alone, if you watched them and absorbed them and shared them, that alone could be your toolbox. That could be your system. That could be the logistical part of building your business. So I just wanted to kind of drive that home a little bit. These were amazing Zooms, and thanks for doing it, you guys. They were awesome. I loved them. So next slide. So why this title? So we talk about how we usually end up teaching out of our own stuff. What we go through and what we learn and all of that, we end up teaching. So while the us leaders, I don't know if that's proper grammar, but while we were meeting and figuring out what we wanted to talk about this month, mine was in jest because I was struggling a little bit. So in jest, I said, mine's going to be get your shit together. So, but I wasn't planning on doing that really. I really wasn't. But it just so happened that that's how it was. So what the whole gist of that is, in December, the wheels on the bus fell off again. And so I started really doing some self-evaluation and trying to figure out what in the world was going on with this up and down roller coaster and all of that. And I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, and enough was enough. And so I took a step back, really did a lot of praying and contemplating and that self-reflection and all of that, and figured out some things. So one of the things that I figured out is that I worked really hard in the beginning to achieve my goals and put me on the back burner. So I compromised my own personal health in that regard. And then so over in the roller coaster aspect of things, over the course of time, once I started realizing that I was in a pattern, I would take a step back and then I would jump back in. So what I realized I had done that has kept me in this roller coaster is that I would take a step back, I would start to feel better, and then I would jump back in full bore. And so I never allowed that full on healing to take place. And so in doing that, it caused I don't even know what part of the body that it affected me. I think it affected everything. However, it really caused some of that emotional trauma to start to take place. It weakened my spirit, and it weakened my ability to be able to differentiate between what was truth and what was the lie from the adversary. So last week, Amber talked about the adversary. I think it was last week. And I believe totally in that happens. So we have good and we have bad, and you don't have to believe that is true to make it affect you, because it will affect you. It just will. And so over the course of time, I listened to the naysayers. I listened to the people talking about how I was building the business wrong. I listened to all that negative stuff, and I bought it. And I didn't realize that I bought it until I got to this point in December. And over the course of time, I've recognized some of that, but not so much so until this time. So that is, that's the why of this. So my heart is to not go into like all the trauma and all of that. My heart in talking about this is really to be able to help us to step on up out of our junk and to really be empowered in the way that we were designed to be. So next slide, please. So in the course of praying, and I have an amazing, amazing spiritual mama, and I have an awesome sister. And so I can totally trust that I will get truth, and I will get the goodness of what I need, whether it is that, you know, I love you, whether it is what the heck are you doing? You know, I know that both of them will pray for me like right now. I just know that. And for me, it's important to have someone in our lives that is like that, because it is, when we're left to our own volition, that is, it can be dangerous. And so through the prayer and the self-reflection and all of that, I realized that in my in the point of I felt lost for a little bit. I was like, I don't know what to do. Kenzie, I'm sure, was so tired of listening to me say, I think we should do this. I think we should do that. And then next week it would change again. So I was very, very wishy-washy. And to me, that is, I don't like wishy-washy. And when we're not convicted and we are not certain of who we are and our destiny, we become wishy-washy and we blow with the wind. And that is not who we were designed to be. That's not how it's supposed to be. We need to be firm and we need to be convicted. We need to have no slack in our belief, and we just need to be able to stand. And so what I realized through this is that I always knew what I was supposed to be doing, but that's where I allowed the outside voices to affect where I thought I should be and where I really needed to be. And so all along in our homeless ministry, you know, I don't remember not being that person that wants to just wrap my arms around somebody and make everything okay. I just don't remember not being that way. When we started our homeless ministry, that really just kind of magnified where my heart was at. I just wanted to be able to take everybody home and make everybody feel better. And in the process of trying to figure out where I was at and what I should be doing in my business and keeping that part separate, I got lost for a minute. What I didn't realize is I did know it, but I tried to separate it. It all comes together. It's all the same thing. It's all what's in our heart. And what is in my heart doesn't mean that if it's not in your heart, that it's not right. It's all about the authenticity and what I believe God has called us to do. So my full-on mission and drive and desire in all of this, and always has been, I just want to lead people into the strength and courage and hope and tenacity, and be able to really help people to see you have a warrior in you. You have a warrior in you. And when we let the outside forces come in there and affect us, that weakens us, but it doesn't weaken the warrior. That warrior is in there saying, let me out, let me out. And so that is what my goal is, and my heart is to really be able to step into that power and to help empower women. And so everybody has our own stories. Some of us come from abuse. Some of us come from a divorce. We all have problems, and we can either let those problems make us stronger and help us to help other people. It just gives us tools. It gives us more tools, really. Yeah, some of that pain, that sucks. Nobody wants to go through pain. But it's just like when you go to the gym and you're lifting weights. The only way that your muscle builds is because you have injured that muscle, and the muscle starts to grow. And I believe that that's where that pain comes from. I don't even want to go into specifics of pain because everybody has their own. It doesn't do any good to rehearse that pain. What is good is to step on up out. Doesn't make that pain less. It doesn't devalue that pain because it's real, but it helps us to be strong, and it helps us to have that experience and that power to be able to wrap our arms around someone, whether it's physically or just mentally, spiritually, whatever that is to just say, I'm here. Sometimes we want to speak words when it comes to helping people. Sometimes you need to know you just need to not speak words. Sometimes you need to comfort people just with your presence. Just saying. So, that is where the empowerment aspect comes from. So next slide, please. So I believe there's a spiritual aspect of this. And I just want to clarify something because it's important for me for people to know that my belief is a relationship with God. It is not a religion. It is not a door that I walk through. It is a relationship. And so everyone is a spiritual being, and there is a spiritual aspect of our life, and it's bigger than us. So there's some people that have an issue with that, with that thought of they want the control. They want and feel like they have end all be all. That is not the way it is. That's not the way that we were designed. That it's just not so. If you don't want to look at the spiritual aspect of it, go and look at the scientific aspect of it. There's atmosphere, there's energy. It is all something bigger than us. It is. And so for me, I run on faith. I am a believer. I can't imagine going through some of the stuff that I have been through and having that all be on my shoulders only. So it's reassuring for me. It's peaceful for me. And for me as an individual, that's the way that I run my life. And that does not mean that I'm not even gonna go there. So you guys you do your own thing. That's my belief. And it's my presentation. So, but it is good. So let me see here. I have some notes. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So when we depend on on us alone, it really is like taking a trip without a roadmap. So we can get out there and we can go and have fun, and we can be off on our own and doing that thing. And there are times when we do that. And I mean, I am one to go off the beaten path. So I'm not saying it's not good to do that and be an individual there, but it's very important to have something in your life that guides you, to keep you safe, to help you to have that wisdom and to really have that good direction. So that's where, that's where I think some of the spiritual aspect comes from. There's just so much that is bigger than us. So that's the thing with that. Okay, next, simplicity. So simplicity is accept the things you can't change, change the things you can. And I think that when it all comes down to it, if we can't do anything else but focus on that, when it comes to building our business, when it comes to our life, our family, our kids, if you have young kids, and as your kids grow and they start making their own decisions, and so for me, I liken our doTERRA business to raising our children. So when we bring people onto our team, it is like they are our children. And, as your team grows, then you get to be grandma and, great grandma and all of that. Well, as our kids grow, literally as our kids grow and they start to make their own decisions and they start to step out and make mistakes and all of that, we want to reach out and take control. And there's sometimes we just need to not do that. For one, it stops them from gaining their own wisdom, their own experience, learning their own journey and finding their own destiny in life. And when we feel that need to envelope them and protect them and keep them from making mistakes, just like with our leaders, when we step in there and we decide that we want to micromanage our team, that is taking away the glory of them as an individual. And it's the same way as with our kids. And so with that, for me, it makes life so much easier. And I am not perfect at this. So please know that when I am talking about this stuff, this is not, I've got it all, and I am. It is. I am definitely talking. Whoa. I got a blue on. We're in this together. So this is mom talking to kids for a minute. We all learn together. We all want the best for each other. We love each other. We love that relationship. And when we get into the nitty-gritty of each other's lives and we want to micromanage that, then it makes our life more complicated. So if we really pay attention to accepting the things we can't change and just breathe and just know it's going to be okay. And if there's something there that you can change, by all means, change it. Please change it if it's something that you can change. So, and then you're not designed to do it all. And that's one of the things that I've realized more and more, and it comes up all the time. I mean, I think there's some lessons in life that you just kind of stay on that trail. Sometimes the trail just has a different view. But as my team started to grow, I started to really have a little bit of an anxiety feeling because I wanted to make sure everyone was taken care of. And I literally made myself sick doing that. Literally, I made myself sick. And so realizing that we aren't designed to do it all. And I actually have two spiritual mamas. So when we did our homeless ministry, we used to go down under the bridge every Sunday morning, and the guys would come down and they'd be drunk and they'd be sick and they'd be fighting, and I'd be jumping in the middle and breaking up fights, and I was doing everything that I could and then some to make sure that these guys were okay. I just wanted them to be okay. And Jenny came up to me one day and she said, "Romy, I want you to look at your hands." And so I looked at my hands and she said, there are no nail holes in your hands. You are not the savior. And that was very humbling for a minute. I was like, whew, that kind of set me back for a minute. I'm like, but wait, I just want them to be okay. I just want them to be okay. But then on the other hand, it goes back to the spiritual aspect of it and the energetic aspect and just life in general. We can't do it all. We can't. We have to pick one thing or two things. I wouldn't go more than 4 things that you really want to focus on, and be really good at that. I have one of the things that really has been battering in my head is that I see leaders that are very red. They're very regimented. They're very they know what's going on. They're very organized. Everything is just deep. And I have beat myself up more often than not because I am not that way. I'm not that way. And gosh, it hurts me to know that I can't help the people that need a leader like that. But it also it's just okay to just breathe through and know that they'll find what they need if I don't have what they need. And it's the same with you. Stephanie said, when we met, Stephanie was talking about, as we were brainstorming for this group, it's like we all come together in this group, we as leaders, and our heart's desire is to help you guys and to give you what you need. And we have committed to give you our everything. But if it just so happens that our everything isn't enough or you need a little bit more, then it's okay to go out and find what you need. We've all had to do that at one time or another. So that's where you just get over trying to be the end all be all, and your life will be a lot easier. So, and then you want to make sure that you keep moving forward. What you do, you want to keep moving forward. It doesn't, and you can keep moving forward in a very simple way. When we talk about personal development and we talk about reading and different books and stuff, some people don't read. Some people don't like to read. And I love to read, but some of the personal development books are kind of hard for me to read because my brain is just like all over the place. So I have fallen in love with Audible. And so when I go to bed at night, I sit and I just lay there and listen to Audible. And so there's just different things, small things. They can just be small, but just keep moving forward. And one of the Audible books that I read, it was on servant leadership. And one of the things that he said in there is that you're either green and growing or ripe and rotting. So keep moving forward because you don't want to rot. Next, please. So self-care. You're a gift. If you don't take care of the gift of you, you won't be able to take care of the gifts that will come into your life. And I think that's one of the things that to me, that's one of the most important things right now, is to realize I'm a gift. And for some reason, when I don't know where it came from, I don't know when I bought it, I don't know. But when it comes to thinking about me as something good, or me as pretty, or me as whatever good is, that's vain. And you shouldn't be talking about yourself like that. So if you've grown up with the idea that you're vain if you think you're good, I encourage you to explore that and release that, because that is a lie. It's a lie. We are gifts. We are gifts, and we are set apart, and we are here for a very specific person and a very specific reason. And if we don't step into our gifts and to really, just really open up into that and really receive that and just know this is good. We are good. There is no one else like us. No one. So that is, I think when we can step into the gift part, it's kind of like Christmas. How awesome is it, do we feel, when we find that perfect gift to give to someone? Sometimes the giving of the gift is better than the receiving. Most of the time it is that way. So you are the gift that you get to give to people. And if you give with an open heart and a loving heart and with all the goodness that is in you, then that gift will be received in a better fashion, because you're not over here, you don't have that edge of people feeling like they're getting ready to be sold something. It's like I said, we need to get over the sales aspect of things, but I'm telling you what, if you get in there and you serve with an open heart and you just love people, then that you'll automatically get over that sales part, because it's just another part of the gift that you're giving people. So that one. Next, please. Okay, so I'm almost done. I'm hurrying. So true freedom is Mark's and my motto. So there's a lot of different aspects of the true freedom. So true freedom is what that looks like for you. So for me, the ultimate true freedom is my relationship with Jesus, and everything else falls down after that. So again, like I said, that is not about religion, that is about relationship, and that is individual. So that's however you want your true freedom to look like. But for me, that has just made it easier for me to really have those fruits of the Spirit and really have that desire to exemplify the fruits of the Spirit, which is the love and all the goodness. We have the goodness in us, every single one of you. If you are on the call, if you are watching the recording, you have that goodness in you, because like likens like. So you have been drawn to somebody that has goodness in them because you have goodness in you. We are all birds of a feather, flock together. So the spirit of fear of man, I think, is very big. And I think that's where, if we can get over the fear of man, what will people think? What will they say? What will they do? It doesn't matter. It's none of our business what someone else thinks. That goes back to accepting the things you can change and cannot change and change the things that you can. It's none of our business what someone else is doing, what someone else is thinking, none of our business. What is our business is us. What we are going to do to make our life good, and what we are going to do to make the atmosphere around us good. Are we going to be able to change the atmosphere? Are we going to do it on purpose? Are we going to step into our greatness? If we focus on that, that's a big job right there. We don't have time to focus on somebody else's job. So the loving everyone and serving anyone, that was our Light Riders motto when it came to our homeless ministry, and that has just carried over into our doTERRA business. And it's not just doTERRA business, that really is that's just me. That's just the way that I feel. So next, please. Okay, so we talked about the spirit of the warrior that resides in you. And that, I really think that's where getting it all together is where the rubber meets the road. So when we really realize that we are warriors, that warrior is in us. We need to bring that out. We are warriors. We are here to affect change. We are here to shake history. We are here to do all that goodness. And when we let the fear of what someone else is going to think, we are stopping some of that. We're slowing it down. We're not up to speed. I've said it over and over again, and people are probably tired of hearing it, but you have someone waiting for you. You have someone out there waiting and praying for you to step into your destiny. And it's more than one person. It's just one person. If you don't step into your destiny, then that person has to wait for the next person to come up the pike that's going to say yes. So be the warrior and step into it. Be strong. Be courageous. Be that woman that you were designed to be, because you are worth it. Your dreams are worth it. Your life is worth it. Your family is worth it. You're creating a legacy, a whole new legacy for your kids, for your grandkids, for your whole new inheritance that is coming down. All of that is good. And a lot of that goodness is not going to happen if you don't step into your destiny and step up and be strong. And if somebody says something that hurts your feelings or offends you or you don't like, turn the other cheek. Forgive them and turn the other cheek. Okay. I wonder why it is that stuff just, I did not write that down. I did not plan that. So that's the end of my slideshow. Does anybody have any questions? Is everybody still with me? Nobody hung up on me.
Iris here, and that was amazing. I hear some of it a lot, but this really brings it home. Thank you, Romy.
Thanks, Iris. Anybody have any questions?
Just wanted to tell you, I just listened to your speech while I was driving. It was amazing. I'm sorry I had to shut off the video. But I pulled over just to talk, and now I have to go back on the road again. So I'll continue listening. Thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Thank you, Romy. All good comments. I love it so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Have you guys ever heard of the Superwoman pose? The Wonder Woman Superwoman pose? Does everybody do it? By the way, if you can't see my shirt says the spirit of a warrior resides in you. So, but the Superwoman pose, actually from the, I got it because I donated to the Lisa Bevere. They do a sex abuse, human trafficking thing. So I donated to that and I got a shirt. So the Superwoman pose, if you guys, when it comes to like teaching classes, because I think that there's some people that are just, I know that there's some people that are just natural when it comes to getting up there and not being nervous and just, it's just, that's their gift for teaching, is standing up in front of people and teaching. There's other people, their gift is standing up there and doing a good job teaching, but they feel rather ill before they get up and do that. So, one of the things that I started doing before I do presentations and like our sizzles and stuff like that is that I do that. I just stand with the Superwoman thing. Like this morning, I listened to my music really loud and danced around. And it really is, it's kind of a physical thing as well. It kind of gets your blood pumping. And that's one of the reasons why I stood today instead of sat. So it just kind of helps you to get your blood moving. You feel a little bit more in control, and you just move forward in that way rather than trying to do a presentation with your blood still sleeping. So, all right. Ooh, we're long now. The Superwoman pose, please show us the super. I don't know if I can, because my camera. So you just stand with your hands on your hips, just like that. Just stand up and just do it. So, all right. I think I am done unless anybody has a burning desire to say something. Okay. So like I said in our talk, our heart's desire is to help you guys. We are committed to you. So we're appreciative of you guys showing up and being with us. And, you know, we love to build the relationships with you guys, and we love to be able to just help you. So if you have people on your team that you think would find value in this group, then you're more welcome to invite them to join us in this. The cool thing about it is that they get more than just you. They get a whole team, they get a whole community, and they get us as well. So it's really is an awesome collaborative effort, and I love doing it, just to be able to work with Amber and Ashley and Stephanie and Joe. So, all right, we will see you guys next week. Have an amazing week. Thanks for showing up.